Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Tsung Kung. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Tupten Dorje. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. And homage to the main deity of the group practice this evening, the greatly merciful and compassionate Avalokitesvara Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. Simu, Tanzan Jatso, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and our participating VIPs today are Madam to Ambassador Daniel Liao, the rep from Republic of China to Sweden and Norway, Dharma Sister Judy, and accountant to Tribhuvan Foundation, Dharma Sister Teresa, and from Hong Kong, Professor Liang Cao Fan and family, and from New York, the medical doctor as well as the PhD in plastic surgery, Dr. Li Ziyi, Dharma brother, and Dr. Su Lin, and the PR director of True Buddha Seattle Temple, Dharma brother Fermi Wang. Good evening, everybody. How do you do? So today, our deity yoga was that of Avalokitesvara, or Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. And I thought of long ago when I received some spiritual response, and at that time Golden Mother appeared, Amitabha Buddha appeared, and Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. I was living in the Kezhuo Xinchun, the cooperative new village, like a community in Taichung. When I received spiritual response, several of our neighbors got heard about it, and someone across the street. I then lived in the Lixing Road number 39 of Taichung City. And the house across the street, what is the family name? This is called Wanji, like the auntie or the elder sister Wanji, and her husband also worked at the power company. And she learned of, or she heard of my spiritual response. so invited me to go to her house to chant a sutra. And she enshrined a white robe Kuan Yin Bodhisattva with a beautiful face, very dignified. And I chanted the sutra, and I knew that this lady's Kuan Yin Bodhisattva went to my house. So I felt that she has come to my home. So I was very happy, and I went to find this lady and told her, "Hey, your Kuan Yin Bodhisattva has come to my home." But she got really angry, and she came to my house and said, "My Kuan Yin Bodhisattva is supposed to be at my home. How come she went to your home?" So she, and I don't know. I didn't know. I was invoking her, and she came. And then soon after that, after she said that, she started to slap her own mouth. That I said the wrong thing, and then she was like rolling on the ground. And she said that she said the wrong words, and she was slapping herself really badly until her face was almost like a pig. And she kept saying that she said the wrong thing. So that was the first time I had the connection with Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. And then because her Kuan Yin could not come to my home, so I got a Kuan Yin Bodhisattva that's the same as hers. I recognized it. There was a Buddhist department store in Taichung before, and they carried all kinds of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. I went there, I finally found it, the exact same one. And then I brought her home, and then I asked her, "Are you the Kuan Yin Bodhisattva from that lady across the street?" And no, the statue was the same. But how could she say not the same? Oh, because one is Dharma elder sister, the other one is Dharma younger sister, the Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. So I did not understand why, with the same statues, the Bodhisattvas are different. And then I found that my Kuan Yin Bodhisattva was not as responsive as that lady's Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. So that was a story about Kuan Yin Bodhisattva from the past. And it made me think that each Buddhas and Bodhisattvas is in charge of different things. Every Bodhisattva is different. In the history of Buddhism, whether it's Indian or Tibetan or Chinese or Taiwanese or Korean or Japanese, they're all different, and the sculpting, the statues are different, and also the ones from Southeast Asia are different. And theirs is with pointed head, and this are Chinese behind us, Chinese style. So every deity is different. So what happened to me finally I got an insight, like what was I am considered, I belong to the heavenly realm. I was being called upon by the heavens in order to receive the spiritual response. Like Manjushri Bodhisattva and Vajrasattva transmitted to Nagarjuna in the human world. And Nagarjuna and Vajrasattva transmitted to Nagarjuna who was in the human realm. And the Dharma was called the Madhyamaka sect, or the middle way. And Maitreya of the heavenly realm transmitted directly to Asanga. And their school or sect was called Yogacara. And the one of Nagarjuna was Madhyamaka. And Maitreya and Asangas is Yogacara. So they were transmitted from heavens and on earth from Vajradhara directly to Tilopa. It's called the Kagyu school, which is the school of a spiritual cultivation and blessings. And his sister was called Niguma. So from Vajradhara to Niguma, and from Niguma to Tilopa. So the lineage came from the heavenly realm. And myself received spiritual responses, and I received it directly from Golden Mother. So our school is called the True Buddha School. It was transmitted directly by Golden Mother. So, in my research on the sutras, I realized that there were transmissions directly from the heavens, like Manjushri Bodhisattva, Vajrasattva, who transmitted to Nagarjuna of the human world, and that's Madhyamaka. And then from Maitreya Bodhisattva in heavens directly to Asanga, that's called Yogacara, or consciousness only school. And then from Vajradhara to Niguma, and then directly to Tilopa. And that's the lineage or the school of spiritual cultivation and blessings. And then Golden Mother to Grandmaster Lu, that's the True Buddha School. That's direct transmission. And one more. The 5 major ghosts by the names of Xiaolin, Zhongchun Yi Wu, Du Bian, Ni Lang, Ning Liang Zi, Wang Jinqian. The names of these 5 big, great ghosts through the body of Zheng Wenlong, transmitted to the witch, the ghost witch XX. That's called the School of the Five Great Ghosts. So she had the True Buddha lineage before, and then she united with the five big ghosts. So she ended up with the School of Five Big Ghosts, major ghosts. So the five great ghosts through a medium, and then she believed in them. And she always asked people to pray to the XX Hall, which is the shrine for the five great ghosts. Have you heard her say, asking people to pray to the XX Hall, which is the shrine for the five great ghosts? These were all seen by my eyes. I observed them with my eyes. Our understanding should be like this. If it was transmitted by the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, or the Golden Sage, those would be the correct or the authentic Dharma. But if it were to be transmitted by the ghosts, of course, they were the evil or the deviant, the incorrect or improper Dharma. You know, many people, like in Thailand, they have all these ghost stalls. And they will help you. So that's why they would raise the ghost. That's why people use this ghost. And of course, these five great ghosts would help XX too. But it's the realm of the ghosts. And they are not golden sages, and they are not Buddhas or Bodhisattvas. So she had walked on the deviant path, which is the path of the five great ghosts. So that's what happened. She took refuge, but what's strange was in 1986 she took refuge, and in one of her articles she wrote that in 1988 she claimed that all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are very connected to her, very buddy-buddy, good friends, like brothers or sisters, very close and intimate. So she took refuge in 1986, and in 1988 she already had Sakyamuni Buddha talking to her every day. So I pondered, I mulled over this issue. How could she gain any spiritual response in 2 years? By what? Based on what? So just 2 years after refuge, how could she be connected with all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas? And in a very fine and detailed way, which means Sakyamuni Buddha would say one sentence and she would reply, and Guru Padmasambhava would say something and then she would reply, and then also Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. So she's with so much responses, so she's a truly great, incredible person in True Buddha School. How could such a great person is concealed in our Tribhuda school? That was in 1988. See how many years ago? What? I couldn't hear. Sorry, there's no sound here. Is it battery? No, 不是这个了，是这个了。It's yours. So refuge, okay, 赶快。So she took refuge in '86, and she's already starting having dialogues with Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 1988. I'm sorry, I have no sound here. I'm just trying from the sound outside, but I can barely hear.
神经病也会跟佛菩萨讲话。没有。你要知道啊，在精神医院里面关的，在台湾精神医院里面关的那些人，一个讲还是讲，一个讲。那个有一天啊。
Okay, I'll be back. Okay. So one day, the doctor asked the Pope, why do you call a mental patient, why do you call yourself a Pope? And, oh yeah, because God told me I'm the Pope. And then there was a woman walking by, and that woman said, no, I never consecrated you as a Pope. So she thought she was God. So that's in the mental hospital. Hey, sorry, no more sound. In the mental hospital, there was someone that claimed that he is President Jiang, which is the founder of Taiwan. And then another guy was hospitalized in the mental ward, and he also claimed that he's ex-President Jiang. And it turned out it became very quiet and peaceful there. So what happened? So the doctor thought maybe they have regained their health and become normal. So the doctor asked the first guy, are you Mr. Jiang? Yes. And are you Mr. Jiang? Asking the other one, and he replied, no, now I am Mrs. Jiang. No wonder now they become really, they get along really well. So these are jokes of the psychiatric hospital. So mentally disturbed people would be able to see God or Matsu, because that's the hallucination in their vision, in their hearing, and thinking. That's why they're called mentally disturbed people. And then the third kind of people that can also say those are the liars. Zhangzhe, where's Zhangzhe? And he told me that in China there are many quacks or liars that said they could see things, they could hear things, and everybody is curious, and they could cheat people their money, cheat people out of their money. So she had such a big ability that she could see all of them, and she could hear them, and she can say so much about it. And in each of the Purple Lotus Journal, there are always stories that this Buddhas or Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva would talk to her, or even the Hindu god Ganapati always offer milk to her every morning. It was offered by Ganapati. And Ganapati will always dance in front of her, the Indian dance, and sing the Indian songs. Oh my God. And Ganapati never danced for me and never offered me any milk, right? Ganapati is right there. So she's like, the way she described it, like they're all buddy-buddy. I'm so close to Golden Mother, but I'm still often punished by her. And yet I'm not buddy-buddy with Golden Mother. But after I mull over it, what she said were all mostly lies. They were untruthful. So she used lies to cheat people. So her whole organization became like a fraud. So if someone would have such high spiritual realm, then you would have a very denunciation mind. You would be able to renunciate and leave behind all the mundanity very easily. If asking you to become a nun, then you would immediately be able to do it. But instead, you always comb your hair like this, and then put a little bit of oil on your hair. And then she's looking at herself in the mirror, and then extend one hand and said, the whole True Buddha school is in the palm of my hand, and it would die or come alive as I wish. So in front of the mirror, she would do that, Amitabha. She thought there were no other highly attained people in True Buddha school. She thought that even Grandmaster was deceived by her, that I believed in her. It's just because I didn't want to say it. During the grand ceremony of the across the street in Taiwan, I knew about you already then. And she called herself a living Guan Yin. But that's wrong. She's a fake Guan Yin. not a living Kuan Yin.
穿越时空，进入师
She could travel in time and entered into the heart of Sakyamuni Buddha and made a report of her Dharma work
一直到现在，
and went into retreat in the year 2000 up till now.
直接发光对对，
She never made any report to me about her Dharma work, but she did it directly to Sakyamuni
所以很
Buddha.
多事情呢，真的我们要认清楚。
So that's why we have to be able to differentiate, to discern, because in this world where there are real things, there are always the fake or the imitation of it. And you need to be able to discern and differentiate what is the real one, what is the fake one, what is the true one, what is the false one.
还是假上，
You need to be able to recognize whether it's a real guru or a fake
还是
guru.
邪法？
And what you practice or what you learn, is it a real authentic Dharma or a fake or false Dharma?
野本也是快三恶道，
So
接近三
ghosts
恶道，
are close to the three lower realms of the animals, hungry ghosts and
就是
hell.
在三恶道。
Those are the three lower realms. And the hungry ghosts are also ghosts, right? The ghostly realm.
所以今天跟大家讲这个观世音菩萨，最主要
So
要
today,
分辨什么是真
in
的。
talking about Kuan Yin Bodhisattva tonight, you need to be able to discern what is or who is a real Kuan Yin and who is a fake Kuan Yin.
都不一样。
And each of the Kuan Yin has a different conduct and behavior, a different characteristic too. And what is the authentic or the real, the truthful one, and what is the deviant or evil. Like all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and all the heavenly gods and devas can be invoked, but you cannot invoke the ghost. In Japanese, they are called oni, and you should not invoke any ghost.
邪气的那一种灵也是属于阴灵，那也是不能够供养，不能够用它。
To find
这
me.
个海呢，托大麦照，
You know, I
尽
already
量来催我，不要
made the
找我。
announcement.
我常常讲，不要找我那个些
I
善良
often
的
say,
弟子，
please don't
要
bother
找就
my
找如是
kind disciples. Instead, just come find me.
来一个杀一个，来
I
两
will
个
take care of
杀一双，
any ghost that
来
come.
一团
If one
杀你两
comes,
团，
I'll kill one.
两团，来一团杀我。
So Buddha Dharma should be authentic,
是正的，
and you need to be able to discern and differentiate what is the real ones and what is the authentic one and what is the deviant ones.
着火
And here it's
向下这个
mentioned,
明点
in order to ignite the inner fire, you want to be able to
明亮
melt and drip the light drops.
行止威仪，业衣清凉。他的意思是讲说，你在修行着火内法的时候，
What it meant
要
is
吃
when
有营养的东西，
one should take nutritious food
有
and
营养的
drink,
东西补充你身体的营养。
which
不然
means
你没有
that in your spiritual cultivation you have to eat nutritious food. Otherwise, you have no inner fire, no fire.
这个火
So Grandmaster relies on this fire. The fact that human beings can live on or stay alive is they rely on their temperature. So if you have the fuel, then the fire would become brighter, and you have to rely on healthy, nutritious food. If you eat vegetarian food, then you will not be able to ignite your inner fire. It's rather difficult to ignite the inner fire if you eat vegetarian food. But you need to perform it in a cool way, which means you are on the right path, not too hurried, but also not too slow. Your movement and your actions are very dignified. What do you call that? So cool, meaning your heart is very wide open and very stable and very calm. If you're hurried and anxious, then you have that anxiety. Or if you're very too deep, and there would be depression. So you cannot be too anxious and nervous, but you cannot be too quiet and dark. You have to be just right, and that's the concept of the middle way. So one should take in nutritious food and drink, and you need to be cool, and no specified quantity, no specified quality, and the way to practice is the same as the 8 ways as specified above. So don't worry about the quantity and the quality. Just do it. Just practice it accordingly. And today, let's teach about the yoga of the light drops of Bindu, divided into 4. The harmony of the sun and moon at the heart. 2nd, the solitary warrior at the navel. 3rd, the light drops of bliss at the secret chakra. And 4th, the seeds of the white illustrious light at the brow point. So the light drops are divided into the 4 areas. The first one, the harmony of the sun and moon at the heart. So every time you have to first perform the 9 postures of quiet contemplation, which means you have to sit upright, your legs are in lotus position, your spine is upright, and the head is toward the heaven, slightly tuck in your chin so that your central channel is completely straight. In the double lotus position, the legs, and then the hands, like in yoga, and then tuck in your abdomen, lift up your anus, and the tip of the tongue touch the upper palate. Tuck in your chin, tuck in your abdomen, and push in your back, and then lift up your anus. That's the outer posture. That's the 9 posture of quiet contemplation. And then visualize the heart or mind like an empty egg. So visualize our hearts like an empty egg,
像鸡蛋一样，
like a chicken egg,
空的鸡，空的，
but
其
empty
内下
inside.
有叶轮，
And
在这个
inside it,
空卵心的底下有叶轮、月亮，
at the bottom, there's a moon
月亮上面有日轮， 有
or
一个
moon
太阳
disk, and on top of the moon disk, there's a sun disk.
或颜色是红色跟白
The
色，
one mustard
其
seed
象
in the
光明，
color of red and
其
white,
性空
and it
乐，
looks bright
即
and
此
luminous.
三法。
Its nature empty and blissful, and endowed with the three dharma.
好，我先念完，再跟大家解释。
Let me
复
finish
次，
reading before I explain it.
意列专注
Also,
其上，
the mind
明
focuses
点
on the
于
above,
心
the light drop,
之音，错开
making the
上方
sound of
日
zinc
轮一孔，
chisels
出
a
耶
hole
音，
on the sun disk
马尾，
above as
马尾
big
毛
as a horse-tail hair.
在
The
下
hole
以
is the size of
端
a
是
hair of a
辨
horse
识
tail.
器，
Using it is best to press and restrict the breath until you can't hold it anymore. Then exhale slowly and soundlessly. And your mind would observe on the knotted thread as being absorbed inward and buried into the light drops. Also, the sun and the moon represent skillful means and wisdom. The light drops at the center represent the alaya vijnana, the storehouse consciousness, and the 6 knots represents the 6 consciousness, and the half knot represents the ramona vijnana. By practicing and visualizing this way, it will quickly rise to the highest level of ultimate meditation, and it will swiftly produce transcendent power.
我师父以前教的不是这样子，
What my guru taught me was not like this, not as complicated as this.
我师父以前教的心轮，
What my guru taught me was like this.
心在
And
你
the
的心
heart, that's
这
the
个不是
lotus.
肉团心，
It's
我
not
们
the
讲的这个
physical
心轮
heart.
是在做团心，
This heart chakra does not refer to the physical heart, but is at the center of your body in the heart area. That's the heart chakra. And you let me explain the visualization part.
夜轮、日轮中间的一个明点，蓝色的光，它这边有写的。它这里面讲的明点是银白的光线，以石头形成。
The light drop is bound, this heart chakra, and they are of the six sensory organs of the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, touch, body, and mind. Once you eliminate the six of consciousness, then the heart chakra will open. And then there's the half knot, which represents the Mona Vijaya, which is the combination of the six consciousness. So those are the consciousness.
就是为了为那时啊，如此观修，升起禅定。
Conscious of the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mental consciousness, and then the combination of the above. And by practicing and visualizing this way, it will quickly rise to the highest level of ultimate meditation and transfer power. So you visualize the lotus blossom, the lotus blossoms, and moon disk, sun disk. At the center of the sun disk, there's the Buddha nature. And it's blue light, but it's written here white light, but my guru taught me it's blue light. And then you visualize the six consciousness disappear, including the Mona consciousness. But how do you, when they're all tied and bound, how do you open it? That's the question. It should be that the light drops at your brow point, drip, and reaches the heart chakra, and your inner fire rises and reaches the heart chakra. When the light drops and the inner fire are intermixing and burning, so the light drops like the oil, and the inner fire is the flame. Then it would be burning even more. So the consciousness of the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mental, and the Mona would be opened. So lotus, moon disk, sun disk, and then a blue drop of light. So this is quite profound and deep. So if you can understand That's best. If you have practiced it, then you would know. If you practice inner fire or tumo, typically you open the one that you open first is the heart chakra. This is the brow chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra, navel chakra, secret chakra, or the generative chakra. So when each of these chakras are opened, then you would gain transcendent power. Whenever it's opened, then you would have transcendent power. That's what my guru taught me. So I kind of compare what's written here with what my guru taught. At the New Year time, that our company would give a red envelope to everyone who comes, and everybody would get $1,000. But mine is a signed photo of the boss. And then the boss went to the stage and said, so who got my photo? Then you will get $100,000. So this person who got the signed photo did not go up to the stage. You know why? Because he ripped the photo to small pieces already. So that's why sometimes when good luck comes and you don't grab it, then it would be difficult for you to have it. Riches is something that you don't hear very often. Why do you want to practice and visualize? Because when the light drop intermix and then to open all the bondage and the knots in order to have the heart chakra open, to open the heart chakra. And then after that you start to open all the 5 chakras, then all of the chakras would emit light, would become luminous. And then the Buddha nature inside the heart chakra will be released, will be freed, and it can go and leave your body through the top knot, and then you would have attainments. But if you don't have this pith instruction, this key formula, then you have nothing. And if you don't make use or take advantage of it. A asked Dad, the crocodile, baby crocodile asked the mom, will I be rich in the future? Yes, of course. And the small alligator or crocodile. And the baby or the small crocodile asked Dad, when will I become rich? Is when you become the designer bag. So like the crocodile leather bag, then you become rich. So when will we have attainment or siddhi? Is when you can visualize the Buddha nature at the heart chakra. When you can move this Buddha nature through the central channel and leave through the tip of your head, then that would be your true attainment. he is
挑战成功。
Ali went into a competition for holding the breath,
你是
and
如
he
何
could
办
hold it
到
for 30
练
minutes.
出这种才
And
智
then he was being interviewed afterwards.
小
How
李
could
说
you?
这是归
How
功
did you
于
do
我
it?
老婆。
And he replied,
记者
"Oh,
问
the
老婆是
credits
你的教练
went
吗？
to my wife." And
小李回
the
答
reporter
也
asked,
算
"Was
是，
your wife your coach?"
因为
Yeah,
老婆
kind
跟
of,
我争吵的
because
时候，都喜欢掐住我的脖子。
because when we were in an argument, she's always choking on
因
my
为这个
throat.
是笑话哈，
This
一
is
个
of
人能够
course a
憋气
joke.
30分钟，
If
是
a
不太
human
可能。
being, it's
你
rather
自己试看
impossible
看
for a human
第
being
一
to
次
hold
你憋气，
his or her breath for 30
我
minutes.
们内法里面
If
有
you don't
修
believe it,
憋
try it
气，
yourself. In our inner
下
tantric
气上
practice,
提，
there's
上
this
气
holding the
下
breath.
压，两个合起来，
So you lift
你
up the
憋
upper
住气，
lower chi and push down the upper chi, and then
刚
combine
开
the
始
two, and then you hold your breath.
3
And in the beginning,
有30秒，
maybe you
30
can
秒啊
only do it for 30
半
seconds,
分钟，
half a minute.
只能够憋气半分钟，差不多一般人都是半分钟。
Typically, people can only hold their breath for half a
你
minute.
慢慢憋，慢慢憋气，用很沉稳的、很均匀的呼吸，用很冷静的头脑。
When you use a very deep and slow breathing and very calm thoughts, and nothing is agitated,
也不用你太也不要太重。你能够憋气多久？有的到了1分钟，练到1分钟已经很了不起了，练到1分半就更了不起了。能够憋气2分钟是基本。大家不要憋30分钟哦，憋30分钟已经差不多就走了，就完蛋了，不能跟那个笑话一样，你能够憋2分钟，就保平气2分钟，然后用挤压的把它挤进中脉，就变成智慧气，中脉里面就有气，然后利用这个气升起浊火，利用浊火去染这个明点，下降到的心轮。2分钟，只是2分钟。一般来讲，保平气2分钟就可以了，是不是这样？你自己看表，它至少要转2000。从12那边开始转一圈1分钟，转2000 2分钟，憋气是2分钟。我讲的对不对？依婷对不对？跟男朋友在讲话。
So is that right? Eating is chatting with her boyfriend, right? Wang Ping.
他们2个怎么坐在一起
？How come they're seated together? They're sitting together.
我看到依婷跟王平2个在讲话。
Eating and Wang Ping are talking to each other and not listening to my Dharma teaching.
就是这样子啦。
That's how it
2分
is.
钟是很好的。
2 minutes, that's already very good.
你们谁能够憋2分钟的举手？
So who can do it for 2 minutes? Please raise your hand for Treasury's Energy Yoga.
应该有好几个经常在练。
There should be several who
保
often
平气一
practice.
定要2分钟，
You have to
能
reach
练到
at
2
least 2
分钟，
minutes in your
Yeah.
Treasury's Energy Yoga,
半分钟就没有。
not like 30 seconds.
昨天晚上吃饭的时候，我说对妈妈讲：“妈，你看，我同学都出国了。”我的妈妈回答：“那算什么？
Last
我的
night
同
I
学
told
都
my
已经
mom,
出兵了。”
all my friends, I've gone abroad, and my mom said,
人生无常啊！
My friends have been
真的，
funeral,
我同学啊，出殡的也不少。
and many of my classmates have been
我以前读大学的同学，啊，这个离开人间的，一共
have had their
6个吧
funerals.
有6个。我们那一班只有40个人，已
I
经有
had
6
about
个
40
出殡
classmates
走了，离开人间。所以我们佛教常常讲，
So
眼看
Buddhism,
他
we
人
often
死，
say that you see other
心
people
中
die
热如火，
and your heart
不是
is
热他人，
heated
快
like the
快
fire.
轮到了。
It's not
你要想到
because
这
of
个，
other people, but you
你
think
就
of
要
yourself.
赶快
When you think of
啊
this,
要练到相应，相应就绝对可以往生把握了。我是
take
有
your time,
能够往
take
生
your
把握
time,
的，
and then
如果
practice
假
until
相
you
应就
gain
没有了。
spiritual
假
response.
相应那 gay 还好笑，
Then once you are
那
in
个没有什么
spiritual
价值
union with your deity,
那个像鬼
then
国那个
that's
没
the
有什么价值，
guarantee to
那
be
全部
devoted
都
in
是
the
假
pure
的，
land.
谎话连篇。
Don't do
菩
it.
提雷藏是他的家
Don't fake it.
啊，菩提雷藏寺是他
There's
的
no
家，
point.
他的
And she
家就是
claimed
现在的
that
菩提
the
雷藏寺，
BTT
他把家奉
society,
献给菩提
the
雷藏寺，
Bodhi
这
temple
公
of
交为
Vancouver was her
讲
house.
骗话嘛。
That's
明
a
明菩提
lie
雷藏寺是我买的，什么是你的
because
家？
I bought that
旧
PTT
的教堂，
temple of
他说
Vancouver.
成是他的家建出来的，
That was a church,
害
but
得
then
很
she
多人
claimed
流
that
眼
that
泪
was
啊
her，
同
house.
情啊，慈悲啊，好慈悲哦，
And
每个人
then
都好慈
she
悲哦，海
cheated so
外的
many
都听
people
到。
that they were very touched and cried
你明
and
明
thought that she was so
明明是
compassionate.
我买的，居然
Many people
是
abroad
买你的家吗？
but I
那骗人嘛！
was the one who bought it, so I knew it
公
for
销
sure.
为，
So she lied. She's
所以
such
一
a
定要
liar.
真实。
So that's why you
不
have
可以
to
用
be
假的。
truthful and authentic. Don't fake it.
这一章太色情，
This is rather dirty.
不，是假的色情。
But it's
你
a
们
fake.
听着，哎呀，又歪了，
Uh-oh.
这怎么进得去？
It's
出来，再一次， 你
it's
太紧张了。
it's not right. You know, how
放
can
松
it
的看着
enter?
屁股，
Come on.
靠左边一
You're
点，
too nervous. Just look at the ass
慢点，
to the left.
好，
So,
进来，再进来一点 ，OK。
Okay, get in.
结果是停车费100块，
And then you
还
heard
是
$100 for the
开车要停车，那个人就给他指挥了，
So someone was talking to someone who
这个不算色情。
so it wasn't dirty.
我们是讲正的，不能讲歪的。
I was speaking the truth.
有人把人生啊分成4个阶段，第一个阶段是不想上学，
I divided human life into 4
第二个
stages.
阶段是
The
不
first
想
stage is
上班，
I don't want to go to school. The second
第三
stage
个
I
阶
don't
段
want
是
to go
不
to work.
想上
And the
医院，
third stage is I don't want to go
最
to
后
the
一个阶
hospital.
段
And
是
the
不
fourth
想上
stage
西天。
is I don't want to go to the Western paradise.
哎，想想也是对。不过告诉大家，
That's
现在
also
教大家的
right.
就是能够上西天。
Is I'm teaching you to be able to go to the Western paradise.
啊，我们学佛的人也不怕什么死，你
As
平时有修
Buddhists,
行，
you're not afraid of anything. If
临
you
终就有把
cultivate
握。
spiritually every day, then
你平时有修，有
uh,
在观修，
confident
临
that
终你
you,
就可以想，
at
你的
your
本尊在你面前，
moment of death,
想念他，
that at
持
the
他的
moment
咒
of，death,
想念他，
you think
他
of
就出现。
the deity and recite the mantra, then he would appear in front of you, and you're guaranteed.
这是我们出国去旅游，要把钱花在吃的上面，
And
而不是
spend
花在
money
购
on
物
food
上面。
instead of on shopping.
因为什么？
Why?
行李超重要加钱。
Because you have to pay if you
人如果吃的超重，
weight.
不用加钱。
But there's no need to pay if you become overweight.
我们修行的本领啊，我告诉你，真正修出来的话，
So
你真的是可以这样子的，
from your spiritual cultivation, if you
一
truly have
夫当关，
attainments,
万夫莫敌。你真正能够修出来，你真的有本领，你可以做到一夫当关。
that
密教的修行是要看你成绩的，要实际上你有这个表现。不是空口说白话，你空口说白话就不对了。空口说白话，你是白节
so
期
you
的，
have this kind of power.
别插气。
No
你是
one
说
can
谎。
defeat you. But if you fake it,
你要修是真正的本领
you need to
像师尊
practice
能够
until
这样
you have a
手
real
伸出去，
power.
是
Like
真的
when
假
the
的？
master extend his hand and
他
ask,
自己他就有
is
频
this
率会打
real
开啊。
or fake? Then there would be a frequency here.
他这个手就自然他就会动啊。
And the hand
然后问他事情
will，move by itself.
这鬼伯啊，
And then I could ask
所说的
questions.
是真的假的啊？
What the witch was talking about, is that real or
假的，
fake?
马上就可以
And
可以
it's
测
fake.
出来，
Immediately you can
这也
test
是
it.
一种本领啊，就屈指神
So
算
that's
啊。
also a kind of ability, right?
你说要
Spiritual
练气，
consultation with your
牙
fingers.
齿要练牙齿，我练牙齿给你们听。
Okay, practicing or training your teeth. Let me show you.
有没有听到牙齿的声音？
Did you hear the sound of the
这是
teeth?
牙齿的运动。
That's the exercise of the teeth.
从来没有人哪一个牙科医生讲说牙齿也能运动，
No dentist
哪一个
ever mentioned about the
哪一
exercise
个
of
牙
the
科医
teeth.
师我们的牙科医师今天、明天才会来。
Our dentist is not here today.
这里有牙科医师吗？
Do we have a dentist
Oh.
here now?
你有教人家牙齿运动吗？对了对了对了，那个牙基欠的那个什么？牙齿
Did you
有
teach
没有教人
people
家牙齿
to
运动？
exercise their teeth?
没有，牙齿没有人运动的，只有师尊的牙齿有运动。
Nobody exercised their teeth, only
因为我牙
grandmaster.
齿也保健的不错啊，
That's
保
why
养的还很好。
I maintain my teeth really
每一次我回去检查，我说有没有蛀牙，他
well.
说
Every
没有
time，I
健
would
康的。
ask any cavities, no, very healthy.
眼睛我眼睛也会运动啊，
I can also exercise
你
my
看眼睛运动，眼睛怎么运动？
How do you
跟大
exercise
家
your
讲啊，早
eyes?
上起来
I've taught you
对
in
着
the
这
morning
眼
when you
方
wake
的
up,
地方啊，
and then
闭
you
着
look
眼
very
睛
far,
这样
close
子
your eyes,
圆形的旋
and
转，
then you
眼
rotate
球
your
圆形的旋
eyes
转，旋转14下，
clockwise
然后
14
再把眼
times,
睛张开看，
and then you open
看
your
最远的
eyes
地方。
and you look as far as you can.
我耳朵也会运动啊，
I can also exercise my
你看着我
ears.
师尊的耳朵，
Look at my ears now.
你看，这是耳朵的运动啊。
That's the
我
exercise
脑也
of
会
the
运动
ears.
啊，
I can also
脑
exercise
袋也
my
会
brain.
运动啊。脑袋怎么运动？
How do you exercise your brain? By beating it?
不会，你
No.
用观想的，就是在
By
脑袋运动。
visualization.
密教
Visualization
教
is
你
to
观想，
exercise
就
your
是脑
brain.
袋的运动。
In Tantrayana,
你想活菩萨
it
在虚空之
teaches you
中，
to visualize.
用甘露水
You visualize
down
the
in the
Buddhas and
mind.
Bodhisattvas in the
吞
space,
到你的全身，
and then the
这
nectar
就是脑袋的
water
运动啊。
entering through your
眼睛
head,
的运
filling
动
your body,
鼻子的运动，
There's the
九
exercise
节
of the
佛
brain,
风
the exercise of
就
the
是鼻子
eyes,
的运动，
and then of the ear is by performing
牙
9
齿也
cycle
可以
Buddha
运动，
breathing, and you
耳
exercise
朵
your
也可以
teeth,
运动，
your ears,
明耳骨
and this is the ear drumming,
像打鼓一样，
like
这样
drumming.
沿着耳朵，然后手指头这个指头
Close your ears,
打自己的后面，
and then the
像打鼓
fingers
的
are
声音
tapping
一样，
at
你
the
可以
back
听到
of your
打鼓的
head,
声音，
and you would hear like the sound of the drums.
有没有？这个也是耳朵的运动的之一。
That's also one of the
耳朵也
exercises
可
for
以
the
这样子
ears, and you can also pull it like this.
拉拉拉，为什么要这样子拉？
Why do you want to pull it like
你
that?
不知道在
Pull them like that.
我们
Do you
的耳朵
know
有
that
种
in
根
Chinese
基
medicine,
在母胎里面，
our ears are like a baby inside
这
the
是最
mother's
小的
womb,
baby，
the
你
smallest
的
baby.
舌像这么小，在母亲的子宫里面就是这种形状，
You were this small inside your mother's womb, in this shape,
拉
and when you pull it
全身的器
often,
官全部都
pull them often, then you exercise all your organs.
另外，你的这个五脏、心
And your 5 organs, the heart,
啊、生殖
the
轮、
generative
气轮、这个心轮、
chakra, navel chakra, heart chakra, throat chakra,
眉心轮，
brow chakra,
都在运动啊，
they're all
都
exercised.
可以运动。
They can
当
be
你懂得内
exercised.
法的修行，
So
一切
when
是
you
运动
know how to cultivate spiritually through the inner tantra, then you would have
我每天都
a
这样
real
做
and concrete power.
还有气
And
功
I
的
do
运
it
动啊
every day.
对不对
And also the 7
那个就是一种运动
the exercises
啊希
to
望大家
exercise the 7
好
chakras,
好的有一个身
the
体的
7
健康
chakra
那么
exercises.
好好的
I
能够
hope
健康
everybody is
慢慢地
healthy and can have attainments from their spiritual cultivation.